Hi, boys and girls. It's time for science story time. Today I have a story for you about Pout-Pout fish. There's lots of books about Pout-Pout fish, but today we're going to read Pout-Pout fish and the Mad Day by Deborah Diesen, and Dan Hanna did the pictures. The first thing that happened on that mad morning was a broken favorite souvenir. It shattered with that warning. His souvenir broke. Mr. Fish was left with pieces that he tried to reassemble, but his glue stick was missing. His pout began to tremble. He went to tell his friends, but they didn't seem to care. He thought they were ignoring him. His temper began to flare. He swirled away in anger, and his fins got whirled around. He lost his fishy balance and tumbled on the ground. He tangled with some seaweed as he tried to swim away. He splashed and thrashed and crashed about, his thoughts in disarray. A feeling filled his gills. A sound began to stir, much bigger than a blob. It was a mad grrr. One of his friends came over. They gathered by his side. "What is wrong?" they said. Asked him worriedly. With effort he replied, "It's been one thing upon another, then another stacked on top. I keep on getting madder and I don't know how to stop." Mrs. Clam consoled her friends. "We've all at times gotten mad. It's a challenging emotion, but it doesn't mean you're bad." "She's right," said Mr. Jelly, "and there's much that you can do to restore your inner balance and keep on feeling you, and return to feeling you." Mr. Fish said, "Aren't you listening? I'm mad up to the brim." He scowled and turned away from them, his anger in charge of him. "It's been one thing and then another stacked on top. My mad keeps getting bigger. There's no way that it will stop." Mrs. Squid replied, "You've got this. To get started, simply breathe, then count from 1 to 10 to counteract the seethe." Mr. Fish was not persuaded, but reluctantly he tried. A long breath and counting 2, it soothed him deep inside. He felt a little better, and he wasn't quite as ruffled. "But there's still a grr in me." Mr. Fish's thoughts kerfluffled. It's been one thing and then another stacked on top. All that man had made a muddle. Could he really stop? Mr. Lantern shone his light. When you're hurt or feeling sad, disappointed, scared, or worried, those can channel into mad. The solution, said Miss Shimmer, is to talk about what's wrong. Pick words for what you're feeling. When you use them, you are strong. "It's too hard," said Mr. Fish, his voice close to despair, but he breathed again, in, out, and then began to share. He shared one thing and then another stacked on top. His load began to lighten, his mad began to stop. His friends all listened closely as he told about his morning. He reflected on the feelings that were anger's early warning. He talked about the troubles that had made his angry mix. They changed with calm attention into problems he could fix. It takes one thing and then another stacked on top. But with words and self-compassion, I can bring anger to a stop. Then Pout-Pout fish faced his mad, and look, the missing glue. The pieces are together. Mr. Fish feels good as new. The end. So today we're learning about the science of psychology. That talks about how our minds and our feelings work. And in that story, Mr. Pout-Pout Fish did a lot of things to help him handle his anger. And one of the things he did was breathe. Now, of course, we're breathing all the time. But when we're angry, sometimes it's helpful to breathe a little bit deeper and a little bit slower to help us handle anger. And one way to do that is to do a high five breath. It's called a high five breath because you hold your hand like this, like you do if you're giving someone a high five. And you breathe, and when you run the pointer finger of your other hand up and down all your other fingers. And whenever you're going up, you take a big deep breath in. And whenever you're going down, you take a deep breath out. Everybody watch me do this, and you can do this with me. Put your hand up, take your pointer finger, and get ready to breathe. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Yeah, that's a good thing to do when you're angry to help you calm down and handle your problems a different way. Now let's do it together without talking so we can breathe even better. Are you ready? Hand up, pointer finger ready, and let's breathe. There. Now that's something your grown-up can help you remember to do when you are angry. They can help you to remember to take a high five breath. Now I got the idea for the high five breath from this library book called Calm Mindfulness for Kids. It's got lots of activities in it, and one of the things that it suggests is taking a nature walk. We did another science story time a long time ago about nature walks and making a tape bracelet to take with you on your walk. You might want to go back with your grown-up when this video finishes and watch that video as well. But first, remember to have your grown-up click like and subscribe. Miss Jennifer needs likes. Bye, boys and girls.